Hello, Epic 7 newbies. This is Suspect Amy, and after my recent Arena Auto Battle video, I got a lot of comments complaining about not having one of the limited heroes or artifacts that I showcased. Don't worry, boys. Auntie Amy has your back. I have two new teams that, believe it or not, have an even higher auto battle success rate against top meta defenses in Emperor and Legend Arena. The only issue with these teams is that they take some time to get the job done. So, if I run out of quick battle tickets, I usually just run these auto battles on my iPad while I'm watching TV or playing a different game. Let's dive into my first team, and this was actually a fantastic tip from an incredible viewer named Aquamizu841. He outlined a quick battle team he uses that looks a little something like this: Roana, Ilinav, FCC, and Lionheart. Now, when I saw this team, I said no frickin' way that this team takes down Meta Lady of the Scales defenses. It has like one damage dealer. No one ignores damage share. There's nothing that stops immortality or revives. There's no hero or artifact here that was recently buffed to deal with these annoying defenses. This doesn't make any sense. But I tried it, and sure enough, this team stomps. Like I said, it's slow, but Sirmia got buffed way back in August so that she gains immunity and pushes herself further when she's triggered. This is huge on this team, allowing her to chip away at everyone's health over time to seal the win. The real queen is Roana. If you go into Setsuka, you are essentially always full health due to how much she counterattacks. Even her uber-deadly AoE nuke is just a nice health bump for my team. Trust me, if you have these old rusty units laying around, this team will get you a ton of quick battle wins if you know what to watch out for. What are the best matchups? If you ever got upset at Setsuka RNG before, switch to this team, and you'll be begging to fight Setsuka in every battle. You really want to target her. What are some teams to avoid? Anyone with significant and persistent healing, like a Ruel or a Maid, should be avoided. You count on the fact that your opponent can't heal up to allow Lionheart to just chip them down to size. Teams with Renak, Mirror Witch, and Bystander can be beat if you're dealing with just one of these guys, but dealing with any two of them on the same team causes some trouble. Also, Frieren throws a wrench into this team and should be avoided. But other than that, this team will take out pretty much any meta defense. Harsetti? No problem. School Nurse? Easy peasy. I'll show off the builds at the end of the video. The only thing worth noting is that you should try to put immunity on all heroes. Most teams in high ranks count on using a fast Wolf DN to seal everyone at the start of the battle so immunity will block her move. Now, let's get to my injury stacking crew. This is my go-to auto battle team at very high ranks, and it's surprisingly not that hard to put together. This works a bit faster than the Lionheart team I just mentioned, and it doesn't have a lot of their weaknesses. The two key players are Prefect Arya and Urban Shu. Shu should be fast, and her main job is to just spread injury around to everyone on every turn. Arya adds more injury to the stack while also preventing anyone from being debuffed. Shu's new exclusive equipment is the key here because it grants her stealth every turn, which causes all light units to attack Arya. Arya gets an insane number of counterattacks every game, and each one stacks injury even further. Every defense is chock full of health-scaling heroes, and this team completely nullifies them. Now, the cherry on top is that Shu's S3 does damage based on how much injury someone has, so by the time it's ready, you have a guaranteed deletion. You may be asking, how in the world do they stay alive long enough to build injury stacks? Good question, and that's where Lady of the Scales and Elvira come into the picture. Elvira's passive turns off Setsuka's nuke, and uses her built-in immortality stacks to keep everyone alive for a minimum of 4 rounds. This team should easily be able to clear the field before Elvira's last immortality stack runs out. Here are some tricks to keep in mind. Everyone should have very high health, not only because they're health scalers and do more damage, but this prevents Setsuka's S3 debuffs from landing. If you weren't aware, Setsuka ignores ER if her health is higher, and you do not want this to happen, especially on Elvira. Another thing worth noting is my Shu has 0 crit rate because I'm just focusing only on speed and health. You actually don't need high crit rate on her because you really only care about her giant injury bombs, which do an insane amount of damage. Lady of the Scales doesn't have high health on my team because I'm using her as a Summer Hua target on defense. She usually gets eliminated by Bystander, but that's fine. You can win most fights without her since her main contribution is her offering buff. However, if you can get her health over 28k, it definitely doesn't hurt. I keep her speed low as well because this gives me a chance to dispel Seal if someone like Wolf Dian opens for the other team. One note for Lady is her artifact. Touch of Rekos is a must-have here. She becomes a poor man's version of Rowana with this equipped, and it's crazy strong. Anyways, this team is the best. If you don't have Chu, I've had some success using Hostile here, but you will need to avoid healers like Ruel and Maid since you're not applying injury as much. This team has very few weaknesses and works into basically every defense. The only one I might avoid are ones where it's obvious that School Nurse will superhumanize Setsuka. If you didn't know, School Nurse will use her S3 on whoever has the highest health on the team. So if you feel like Setsuka might be it, consider avoiding. Once Setsuka is superhumanized, her HP is higher than everyone's and she can dispel Elvira's immortality. Honestly, I still win this fight, like 70% of the time, since it depends on some wonky speed tuning to lose, but it's really not worth risking your win streak over. Because of Arya's passive, you're not afraid of any debuffs that don't ignore ER. Like Mere Witch, Swift Sigret, and Genesis Raz are all useless against my team. I also don't avoid Maid or Ruel here, because the injury stacks will always win in the long run. I guess other heroes you should avoid are obviously Hecate or Veronica, because they negate Elvira's immortality, but I have never seen these guys on arena defense yet. Anyways, here are everyone's builds. I hope that players who were bummed about not being able to auto-battle with my last video are able to put together one of these teams. That's all I have today. Thanks for watching my video. Bye, everyone.